The jungle was unnaturally quiet that night. Too quiet, as if the entire forest was holding its breath in anticipation of something unspeakable. No wind, no insects, nothing alive, only the soft drip of condensation sliding from leaf to leaf, falling onto American boots half buried in mud the color of dried clay, 0317 hours. A moment suspended between life and annihilation. A lone figure lay prone beside a rotting tree trunk, his ribs pressed into the damp earth, his skin coated in sweat, grime, and charcoal paint. His breath was measured, painfully slow, almost inhuman. Each exhale a controlled release of instinct and discipline, intertwined. Through the optic of his rifle, 6 silhouettes appeared on the ridge. They moved in a loose line, relaxed, unaware that the night itself was watching them. Their low voices bled into the fog, soft, calm, living men seconds away from becoming silent shapes on the ground. He exhaled once, a breath that felt like the final note of a prayer. Then the jungle swallowed the sound. One mark dropped, a second followed, a third turned in confusion. A fourth froze. The fifth sat backward into the grass, eyes empty, and the sixth folded without a sound. By the time the last one touched the soil, the shooter was gone, not retreating, not running, just absorbed into the black-green labyrinth as if he had been born from it. The enemy would never find him. They rarely did. This was the work of the soldier, American units quietly called the Phantom Hunter. Officially, the man never existed. Unofficially, Marines in E Corps whispered about him the way men whisper about storms. Not with fear, but with respect for something stronger than themselves. He operated in the northern regions of South Vietnam between 1967 and 1969 in terrain that turned good men into ghosts long before combat ever touched them. This was not normal jungle. It was a maze of elephant grass that sliced skin open, monsoon fog that erased entire patrols, and valleys that echoed with distant explosions like the heartbeat of the war itself. He was attached to a recon detachment, at least according to the few files that weren't fully blacked out. But every trace of him felt unstable, sometimes listed as U.S. Marine Corps, sometimes Special Forces, sometimes MACFSOG attached auxiliary, sometimes nothing at all. Names scratched out, dates overwritten, units mismatched. The deeper you dig, the more the man dissolves into rumor. But one fact remains untouched. He neutralized more than 200 enemy combatants, all silently, most alone. His rifle was only the instrument. His identity was disappearance. He vanished behind tree roots, blended into moss-covered stone, moved with the sound of falling leaves. Patrols found hand-sewn camouflage, stitched with real moss and bark. Tripwire alarms made from fishing line and scrap metal tunnels carved into massive termite mounds where he waited hours without moving. Villagers said the forest spirit had awakened. Scouts swore they saw eyes in the trees. Officers wrote about an invisible hunter who stalked them like prey. Yet he was not a monster. He was a man unraveling, quiet, distant, oddly gentle when he spoke. He slept little, ate less, cleaned his equipment like a surgeon preparing for a life-or-death operation. In silence, memories returned, faces resurfaced, regrets clawed upward. Silence was what he feared most, which is why he embraced it. His commanding officer once said, his eyes changed at dusk, like he wasn't looking at us anymore, like the jungle was calling him home. By late 1968, the Viet Cong and NVA had a new name for him, the Whisper of Death. Counterteams swarmed Hill 689 and the A Shao Valley, sweating through fear as they scanned shadows, terrified he was watching them. They reacted to everything, trees, bushes, their own imaginations. They weren't hunting a soldier, they were hunting a legend. But legends adapt. He stopped using elevated shooting spots, fired through pools of water to mask signatures, timed his shots with distant artillery, so thunder swallowed the sound. He worked alone, not from arrogance, but because he refused to risk another man. His methods grew stranger. He aimed for areas that left almost no visible trace, prioritizing control over force, precision over impact, prediction over chaos. War didn't break him, it hollowed him out. Then came his final mission. Monsoon skies heavy with grief. Visibility barely 10 meters, air tasting like wet metal. The jungle smelling of mud, sweat, and slow death. A recon team had gone silent near the Laotian border. No calls, no signals, nothing. He stepped forward before anyone spoke. Rifle, sidearm, blade, a single pack and 38 rounds. He moved through the forest, guided only by sound. A wet cough, boots dragging through bamboo. Metal tapping against slings. At 2:09 hours, he found them. A clearing like a natural graveyard. A lantern flickering sick yellow light. 6 guards. 5 Americans tied and barely conscious. He positioned himself instinctively, inhaled slowly, deeply. A breath filled with the weight of all the men he hadn't saved. Then he exhaled. 6 guards collapsed in perfect sequence. He stepped from the shadows, cut their restraints silently. Rain hammered the pots near the fire. One prisoner whispered, "Who are you?" He didn't look at him. "Move." They traveled 18 kilometers through traps and fog. He carried the weakest soldier the entire way. In that moment, he wasn't a ghost. He was human again. 2 weeks later, he disappeared from the records. Some say he returned home, yet no one saw him board a plane. Some say he was pulled into deep black operations, and some believe he never left the jungle, that the forest claimed him, that the silence he mastered finally swallowed him whole, that he became what he pretended to be. A phantom born of mud, fear, and forgotten orders. His confirmed missions remain buried behind black ink, thicker than armor. But every soldier in the northern jungles remembers the same whisper. When the trees stop breathing, he's out there. He became more than a sniper, more than a myth, a symbol of the psychological cost of total war, a reminder that sometimes surviving means becoming something you can never escape. War creates heroes, but sometimes it creates phantoms. Like, comment, and subscribe for more dark military archives.